Alrighty, folks. Yesterday, I did a video with Anna Kelly talking about an emergency rate hike and what would transpire if Jerome Powell and his cronies destroyed the market. We've also talked about folks like Ken McElroy and now the uneducated economists talking about maybe rate cuts will lower inflation. I want to talk to the three amigos and ask them, what's worse, rate hike, rate cut, or does it even matter? Dion, we'll go to you first this time.
So for the last decade before I retired, I ran a CDL school, and I was heavily involved with legislation, right? Some things impacted veterans, some things impacted CDL, some things impacted education. And so I would go in, testify on whatever bill was going to be having the positive or negative impact. The outcome never mattered to me. What mattered was that I had a plan. If X happens, then this. If Y happens, then this. So I think what's most important for people isn't, I hope rates go up, I hope rates go down. It should be written down. If rates go up, here's my plan of action I'm going to take. If rates go down, here's my plan of action I'm going to take in my local market, in my asset class, with my resources and my long-term goals. I would write every sentence I just said down, because that's how I handle, because I've never done a prediction thing. I just don't. I think we made a bet one time, $1 over like a home prices going up or down or staying the same or something. And so I'll go back to Warren Buffett saying, Warren Buffett says, if I knew what interest rates were were going to be in 2 years, it would have zero impact on how I invest. Yeah. If I knew there was going to be a 20% boom in housing in 2 years or a 20% crash in housing in 2 years, I do exactly the same thing. I hunt for the next great deal. I look for cash flow day one. I take one rental at a time and I add to the portfolio to reach financial freedom. Nothing changes. So is the opinion of on inflation though, it's so many moving variables. We have lower interest rates would mean companies can borrow cheaper money, which means they can do more hiring and more wage increases, which means more inflation. If we have higher interest rates, you would think inflation would go down because companies can't borrow, but what does that do to asset prices? Asset prices go up either way. You have less transactions that occur. So I think too many people focus on if inflation comes down, things will be cheaper, and that's not how it works.
Yes, yeah, we're talking disinflation, not deflation. Yeah,
they'll cost they'll cost more slower.
The rate of change is less. Exactly. Well, Matt, what about you? What prices, rates get an emergency rate hike or a rate cut, or does it even matter?
Well, Dion, first of all, you don't sound like you're not watching financial channels anymore.
Yeah, I watch Mike.
I'm just saying. Guilt by association. Just saying. And then the other piece of this is, if you don't want a rate hike, you hate old people. How about that? You hate old people if you don't want a rate hike. You hate.
Tell me. I'm sure I think I understand, but tell me more.
So all those people, Mike, when you were talking about rates going higher last week, you don't get it. You're hurting the average American.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't get it. You hate old people because they have money in savings.
Right.
So if you don't want a rate hike, you hate old people. How about that? You're a bunch of jerks. All you are bad people. You hate old people because it's not fair that they get to just put their money in a savings account and make 5.5%. You hate them. You just absolutely hate those old people. You are killing grandmothers is what you're doing with your bad decisions. You're killing Grammys. So suck on that.
You're making grandma work. You're not killing her. You're just making grandma work.
Suck on that, trolls. So I think
on that, trolls.
Yeah. I mean, they're killing Grammy. They're killing their grandma. And you know what? Maybe that's their mission so they can get their house because they don't have the chops to buy their own. We all know this. So this is what's probably happening. So,
oh, man.
In all seriousness,
where does this right turn come from? Come on the freeway. Stop grandma.
I learned it by watching Dion. See, we all rub off on each other. I'm just like, you know what? That's a perfect tangent to go down that really dark path. And about Mary, I'm just kidding. Yeah, about Mary. So I think the biggest thing that we all need to watch is, again, I'm doing a deal. We're signed on paperwork. We're doing the inspection tomorrow, and I'm going to do that deal. And I'm doing that deal because, hold on to your britches, kids. It makes money. Cash flows today. It makes money today. It cash flows today. Yeah. And it's owner finance. And so I even said to the guy,
it's funny. Anna Kelly told me offline because she's getting her inspections done. She's buying a single family home for the first time in over 5 years.
Yeah.
Owner financing.
Oh.
Plus private money. I'm sorry, no, private money. She's got private money financing. Somebody wanted to lend her money at 6.5% interest only. So
yes,
she's going to do.
So not that I'm better than Anna, because I love Anna. She's the OG. I got 5 Point Money. So
there you go. Oh,
hey,
wow.
you know what? I told the guy, I said, here's the thing. I'm going to agree, and this is exactly how I put it. I'm going to agree to your absolutely ridiculous price, which wasn't that ridiculous. But I'm going to agree to your absolutely ridiculous price, but it's because you're letting me do this 10 points down,
right,
and 5% money.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. And how is it, a 30-year AM or 5 or 10-year note? Oh, full term.
30-year AM with a cute little caveat. He's like, well, I probably only want the money out there for 10 years like that. I said, okay, but let's do this. If I'm paying the note on time, every year I pay the note on time up to the 10 years, you agree that I can have another year at that, and that you'll just extend it.
All right. So basically you have a 20-year note, assuming you pay on time.
I'll have a 30-year note, assuming I pay on time. Well, 20, because the
10 and 10.
No, 10. So I will be able to. So every year adds another year. So each year, technically, I go.
Oh, so it continues. It runs. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay.
So that's the idea. Is I said, hey, so long as you're getting payments on time, what do you care?
Yeah.
That's all you care about, right? And he's like, yeah. And I said, and the cash flow is just as good as if you actually having to take care of the tenants. And you know these tenants, I saw them. There's no way tenants.
Yeah.
You know? So again, I think that the mistake that people make is trying to do deals that don't cash flow, only investing for appreciation, and you will find deals. You don't need 10. You don't need, you're not you're not Daddy Warbucks. You can't leave back
just one. Get one a year.
I'm gonna pass on those 10. You're not getting 10. Like, you need one deal to work. That's it. Just one. Don't be selfish. Just one. You need one deal to work.
Yeah. I love all of it. And it's really funny that the Millionaire series, the folks I have on this channel, they're starting to deploy capital now.
Yeah.
And they're finding seller finance deals. Folks, I hope you guys hear this. When the market slows down, sellers get more motivated. And motivation doesn't always mean price.
No.
It can mean terms.
Mm-hmm.
And in the best world, it means both.
Yes.
Folks that do the work, they make offers, they have conversations. You'll find them. They're out there. And again, motivated sellers start to peek their head up when the market slows down. You know what's hard to find when, there's 200,000 listings? Motivated seller, because they just hide. They don't have to, raise their hand.
Right.
So I'm going to go back to Dion's point, because I think Dion's brought it up earlier. Tell me the plan, write it down. Mm-hmm. So I'll take a shot at what my plan is, up or down, and you guys tweak, ask questions, tell me I'm an idiot, just do what you always do to me. So let's talk about rates going down, which a lot of people have talked about. And I'll put rates down below 6%, right? Today they're 7.5%. So if rates went below 6% sometime in the next 12 months, because unlike Dion, I make predictions all the time. My prediction is single family homes below the median in good condition become even scarcer. I believe the federal government will create more first-time home buyer programs, increasing demand, and prices of stuff I own could easily go up 10 to 15%. There will be a time, just like in my book, where the prices are stupid, and I will sell in 1031 into multifamily, just like I did last time. So that's what happens if rates go down in a meaningful manner. I'll stop there and let you guys poke at it, ask questions, whatever.
Dion,
anything?
So on the multifamily that you're looking at buying, I would ask, where are you looking at buying, and is it going to be impacted by the wealth tax that certain states are implementing? Because the seller has to factor that in now, and that could impact, one, their ability to sell because of the debt that they owe, and then you add the wealth tax on there. So are you looking at California or out of California this time?
That is a great question. I would probably be looking at my home market of California, but also my new market of Vegas. I would not, I would not mind getting more chips out of California, but I'm not convinced I could find the same quality and the same team and the same urgency. So to answer your question, I would look at 2 markets and only 2 markets. I wouldn't be this guy that's like, give me a multifamily anywhere across the country. Yeah, I'm not that guy. But the other thing about this is if I get them with seller financing, that even removes the wealth tax issue because they have an installment loan. So there are lots of ways around this. So that's what, and again, Dion, you don't do 1031s. 1031 was a big thing for me. Matt, you've done a bunch of them.
Tons.
Any flaws in what I kind of talked about there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think, brava, Newsom, you've found another rule that smart people can walk around.
Exactly.
Like, guy's such a moron. Like, you really think you're that smart. You're not. I promise you're not that smart. And so people are just going to continue to work around it like they have for years. But when you look at it federally, they're not morons as much as they are in a lot of the specific states, because they're actually like, this is the one thing that actually really gets things rolling. Housing really gets and keeps things rolling because it's such a big part of the economy. So I would expect, last time I checked, in the last 12 months, has there been more pro-purchase legislation or anti-purchase legislation in the last 12 months?
Well, there's certainly more government demand generation. There's programs and incentives and blah, blah, blah. And all aimed at first-time home buyer, all aimed below the median. And as somebody owns a couple of those, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Everything that they've done in the last 12 months has largely been pro. It's been boosting the pump, creating demand, more and more and more. And apparently they don't understand how economics works, but okay. But they keep on pushing those buttons and I'm just like, yeah, more. Some is good, more is better. Some is good, more is better.
Yeah.
And so that's what I look at. I look at your strategy and I say, yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to pivot faster than the government is. And I wasn't joking when I said, I made millions of dollars the day that they decided that, 3 and 4 units could qualify with a 5% down mortgage. They made me millions of dollars that day. God bless them, idiots.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, now let's talk about rates going up. And again, today they're 7.5. Let's talk about them at 9, just so we have clarity.
Can I ask one really quick follow-up question before we go to up?
Yeah, please. That's why you're here.
How low do rates need to go before either of you tap equity?
Oh, God, that's a great question.
Oh,
Matt, you want to go first?
I would probably tap equity again. I'd probably tap it again.
But how low?
The thing is I only have like a couple at 7. I've only got a couple at 7. Almost everything that I have. 85% of my portfolio is 30-year fixed rate debt at 4 and less. Yeah. So I've only got 15% of my portfolio I can play with. And so would I play with that 15%? Probably. But if I'm going from 7 to 5, I probably don't tap equity. I probably just refi it. If I go from 7 to 4 or 3.5 or 3 3/4, and it puts it on plane with the rest of my portfolio, I probably tap a few $100,000 in equity and do something different.
I would 5% be the number. I have a lot out there. That if no, I just have a lot of equity. All my debt is sub. Let me make sure I say this right.
Almost all your stuff
90.
is sub.
Yeah, all my 90% of my debt's sub 5. I don't know of anything over 5. I might have a seller financing at 6, but anyways, yeah. But I have a bunch of equity out there because I actually didn't tap equity. Matt, one of the things you did in the last cycle is you took out 7 figures, right? Well, Olivia and I, we saw no reason to do that. We did get all our debt right, so our cash flow is stupid. But yeah, if rates went sub 5, I might go tap 7 figures. I might, but it would have to be sub 5. I'm not in a rush to. Yeah. All right, now let's play the other side. Rates go to 9%. First off, rates at 9%, in my opinion, will dramatically slow the market.
Yep.
I think it will dramatically slow the market for exactly what I'm looking for. I want to beat up, not touch single-family home. I want something with land so I can add a casita or an ADU. I want it near hospitals because I think the thing I'm going to start looking for in Vegas is furnished traveling nurses midterms. I think we're going to try something new and different. And if rates go to 9%, it's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. It's going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy.
Based on your research, have you seen that? So now they're clamping down on Airbnbs in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are going to be forced sellers in that market because of the Airbnb thing.
Yeah, they're so easy to see too. They're so furnished. They all got casino things on the walls. Yeah, they're pretty easy to see.
Exactly. Very easy to see just from listing photos. So the question is, those are obviously then getting turned into midterms. Will that landlord, will that owner try and turn it into a midterm? And then does that then create too much of that supply in the market on the midterm side, not on the short term side? So that's why that market dynamic is going to be very interesting. But yeah, again, at 9, I'm only a buyer of deals that cash flow, because then
day one,
it's got a cash flow day one. Or there has to be one of those things where, admittedly, the deal that I'm buying, it cash flows day one so small, but I see what my very easy path is to, double digit returns in year one. It's not going to be year 2 or year 3. Year 1, I'll still get to a double digit return. But with the day that I sign, it's not an awesome deal. The day that I sign, it's not an awesome deal. But I can see that path in 90 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Dion, what do you think? 9%, you still a buyer out there?
So just remember, for those people that hate what I'm about to say, come at Dion, not Mike or Matt.
Well, I don't mind.
And I'm not going to be like Matt, where I think so. Old guy REI gave you an amazing shirt there, Matt. Right. I think though that we could swap a letter. So when Mike is making a video with Matt, it should be, what will the lumberjack landlord say? Not with you. Because, you hate grandma. That's a great segue you went down there.
Yeah, where did that dark path come from? Did she kick you in the shins or something? Man.
Well, hey, all the trolls love to just take an absolute dump on us all the time about how we hate the middle class. Like, you morons. You do realize it's not all about you, you millennial a-holes. It might be a little bit about the grandmas and the grandpas that are in their 70s and have a savings account that's finally actually making them some money for a change.
Yeah.
And now, Matt, I'm going to talk about how this is all about me. I'm the a-hole. Shocking. So I want people to write down, here's what I do if rates go up, here's what I do if rates go down. But here's why we're trying to get you on the property ladder. And it doesn't matter where rates are when you get on there, because here's what happens now. We're in the 7-ish rates, right? So if rates drop down, I'm a little excited that I get richer because of appreciation, right? The 5% down on small multifamily, more appreciation. Yeah. So my net worth in 2020 hit $1 million. 2023, it hit 3 million because of inflation. So thank you, inflation. It's amazing.
Good for you.
If rates go to 9%, here's where I get excited, because I don't care about appreciation. I care about rents. And when we make it harder for people to buy, you want to be the person who owns the rental, because when it's harder to buy, more people become renters, which increases demand on a limited supply, and voila, cash flow increases, like it has for the last 2 years when interest rates tripled. Look what's happened to rents.
Yeah.
Right? We saw like a 40% increase at the end of 2021. I saw a 20% increase last year. It doesn't suck to own properties if rates go down, and it doesn't suck to own properties if rates go up. Waiting will cost you.
Dion, where can they find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, where I do my live streams every Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific, where you can comment live your hate comments towards me, and I will respond to each one.
Matt, where do they find you?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube and on Instagram. Was in the jail this morning. Awesome progress. Love what's going on there. So you'll see updates on the channel about that soon.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. Follow him on Instagram, Lumberjack Landlord. A lot of photos. Got the subfloor, and I saw some pictures. Got rid of the stairs the other day. So I'm stalking you. So good work.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys, take care. Have a great week.
Bye.
Ciao.